off and away we are. Good morning, good afternoon. What a life. I got a few minutes as I drive to the grocery store and figured I'd turn this thing on. Who knows how much longer I'll have this channel for. But if I lose this one, I will still have Greg Fernandez 3. So at GregFernandezJr 3. That will be the destination if I don't survive on this channel for much longer. And we'll see. I'm trying to be very, very careful because I have 2 strikes, both for medical misinformation, both related to RFK Jr., both related to videos and posts and clips you'll find elsewhere on YouTube, but not allowed on my channel for some reason. Not saying there's a conspiracy or anything like that, and I'm not going to bust anybody else out either. So if YouTube hasn't caught the algorithm, YouTube hasn't caught them, that's fine. As long as the content is out there, I think that is the main thing. That's the big thing, to make sure the content is out there and that people can easily have access to it. That's why it's good to have it on several channels, because sometimes you go and you watch a video and sometimes I think, I won't back this one up. Go back to rewatch the video and the video's gone. So I've learned my lesson from that, trying to back things up as much as possible. And so, I've been working on a new book, Kennedy and Trump. I believe that's the final name that I'm going to stick with and go with. It's been a lot of fun working on this book. Still a long way to go. 3 different phases of it. One phase is where I just try to document everything and handwrite it all on these handwritten notes that I have. So that's kind of the first process. The second one is then typing it up from those notepads. I'm almost on my 3rd one now. That's why I really need to finish typing up from the first book. And then, of course, the 3rd phase will be to move each section into its own chapter. And, of course, I was really happy that Donald Trump, on the Megyn Kelly show, during his Megyn Kelly interview, he actually talked a little bit about RFK Jr. and the DNC, the problems that RFK Jr. is having with the DNC right now, which is only going to get worse. And it's good to document it, to show how really both parties do not like the most popular candidate in their party. And so when people say that presidents aren't elected, they're selected, these are some of the things that you could use to help verify that, to go along with it, to say, look, they don't want Kennedy as their candidate, even though he can win. He's the best candidate on the Democrat side. Republicans don't want Donald J. Trump, even though he can win and he's the most popular candidate on their side. And you can see this, the 2-party establishment is once again being called out and being busted and being confronted with these problems where there's, they're basically helping to prove a lot of people right, that they want to pick their candidate and that's it, and they don't care what the people say. They just want the candidate that they want for their own political purposes, and that's just not the way it's supposed to work. That's why getting rid of this 2-party system is always going to be a good idea. It was never meant to be 2 parties ever. And at least right now, we kind of have 4 parties. We have 2 Democrat parties and 2 Republican parties. Pretty crazy. There's a Republican primary debate, I believe, tonight. It should be on Fox News, Fox Business, I believe. No Trump. Trump will not be participating tonight in that one. So we'll see if anyone cares. I don't see Trump doing a counter protest or anything either, or a counter speech, but we'll see. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll decide to do that at some point. only time will tell. So I'll be paying attention to what's going on this evening, and we'll see how all of it goes. I don't expect much. I don't expect to really watch it myself, but I may tune in a little bit. Always interested to hear what they say about Trump. I thought the first Republican primary that happened a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago or so, I thought it was just going to be all just everyone against Trump, and it really wasn't. It really wasn't. A lot of people were trying to stick to the actual issues. Chris Christie almost got booed out of the building, which is always a good thing. I always like to see that and hear that. And Nikki Haley just comes off just kind of just weird and rude, and it's all about women this and women that, and nobody wants to hear all that. You know, we want the best candidate, and the Republicans have him. They have the best candidate. Primary elections, I guess, are starting in January, so that'll be interesting to see, at least on the Republican side. The Democrat side, of course, it should be in Iowa and New Hampshire. Those are the ones that should go first, and it looks like Biden is opting out of both of those primaries, which is going to set up a big win for RFK Jr. He could win just by putting his name on the ballot. So we'll see. I've heard Biden may not have his name on the Democratic primary ballot in New Hampshire and Iowa. That'll be interesting to see. We had Trump, who was he did a speech and also spoke to a local gun shop in South Carolina yesterday. So speech was kind of short, but he did walk around and visit with a local gun shop and talk with people and take photos. So he's still out there. So we'll see what happens with South Carolina. Now, there's just so much going on. I haven't heard too much more about the crazy dude who showed up at the RFK Jr. speaking in Los Angeles. So we'll see what is going to happen with that, if that guy's going to be charged. How do we get the public data? As long as I think it's for the Wilshire police station for the LAPD. So we should be able to try to get the body cam footage, at least the police reports of what happened. That will be very, very helpful, very valuable. Find out who's in there. Lost connection just for a brief moment. So hopefully we are back. Hopefully I'm back here. We'll see what happens next. Trump is they're still trying to go after him for all of these baseless charges, blaming him for things, and it's all just it's a stall tactic. That's all the Democrat Party, the Democrat power can do right now, is just to try to go after him, use the system to weaponize the federal government in a way that I've never seen it like this before. So that's only going to backfire, because once you're able to do it to one president, you can do it to all of them. And then we're never going to get anything done, never going to get anything accomplished by doing this. It's all a big waste of time. They got nothing on him. So we'll see how far that goes, how all of those things go. But just more of the same. So I get why people are tired of it, don't want to get involved, don't want to show up to vote, don't want to show up to do anything. Just want to go about their own lives, live their lives. That's it. Nothing wrong with that either. That's the freedom. I don't like when these countries are forcing people to vote. I don't like it when people are being pressured to not vote either, or being pressured to vote a certain way. That's not good either. I'm not out here trying to say, hey, everybody should vote for Trump. Everybody should vote for RFK Jr. And if people want to vote for Biden, people want to vote for other candidates, that's their choice. I mean, I'm just happy that people vote, right? And So we still have to keep an eye on the election interference. That seems to be a pretty safe term, unlike the unpopular term that got my first channel nuked, which was voter fraud. So staying away from that. I'd had a whole voter fraud channel that was flying under the radar for a long time, and it finally got nuked. YouTube finally shut that down. But oh well, that's okay. The information, people will find it, and this is another reason why I really like writing books more than doing videos and stuff. I know that I feel like it is important, and it's powerful. Video is a powerful medium. Radio, video, it's all very powerful, but there's just nothing like a good book, having a good book in your hand and reading it. And it's hard to censor the books without the book burnings or anything like that. So I don't know, maybe that's about all I had to say for this one. It's just another awesome day. I'll be curious to see what happens in the primary debate, who wins, who attacks who, but in the bigger picture, I don't know how much it's really gonna matter, even for me, who's trying to pay attention to the 2024 presidential election. Just a few months away here from our first primaries. We're almost in October, November, December, January. It's about 4 months away here. Then it's really going to heat up. Because once the primary, and they're in the primary, something's going to happen. We're going to see some weird thing happen, I believe. Some type of crisis. Either a new war, finally they'll declare war on Russia, which they might as well do. The Biden administration might as well do that now. They've pretty much done it. If you do that, where are some of these other countries going to side? And it's World War III is right around the corner. I never really thought I'd say that either, because I've been so conditioned that World War III is coming, it's coming. That by the time it gets here, I probably won't even be that big of a deal. The nuclear war, right? We've been hearing that. I mean, my parents have been hearing that probably forever. So when the real threat of the nuclear war comes, a lot of people probably won't be paying attention too much to that too. It'll only be when it comes to their front door, when it knocks down their door and disrupts their way of life, that maybe, just maybe, people will start taking these things seriously and understand why this is not just politics. This is not just government or media or class culture. This is a spiritual battle playing out in the physical world. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. I believe that's what we're seeing. I believe that is the only war that really matters. It's the battle for your soul, the war for your soul. You gotta fight for your soul. You gotta choose those battles, because the war is already won. Jesus Christ has already won the war. You don't have to worry about that. You need to worry about what side of the war that we're on, how compartmentalized we are. What does God want us to do? What does He want us to pay attention to and to focus on? What is Christ calling us to do? How do we use our gifts that God has given us and try to make this world a better place? Try to do something great while we're here for a very short time. Because remember, we all know God does not dwell in time. So time is just something that we live in, that we're slaves to, but God is not. And with that said, I think that's a great place to stop this one. If the debates, if I can find a stream, I may live stream it here too. I just want to be careful with this channel. Please don't forget that I have a Kennedy and Trump YouTube channel, and I also have a Kennedy and Trump 2024 YouTube channel. So I got both of those going just in case anything happens. So maybe I'll stream one there. And yeah, and then Rumble, and I started a Kennedy and Trump TikTok too, which is pretty crazy. It's like a lot of the videos already have triple digits, which, as you know, on YouTube for me is like nearly impossible to get triple digits. It'll either be double, or in a few cases, 4-digit numbers. But so TikTok seems to be a good way to go. They say that you can make videos up to 30 minutes, but I don't know. There must be some type of rules or something for the TikTok, because they only are letting me do 10-minute videos, which is fine. 10 minutes that's fine for me too. But I want to figure out that 30-minute option. I don't know if it's a paid version or something. So trying to get a lot of the Kennedy and Trump stuff onto TikTok, especially the stuff that can't really play here on YouTube. But I found some good clips, and that's the other part of the book that I'm working on, is I'm trying to gather all of these clips, short clips, to then use to create kind of like a documentary, like a poor man's documentary, that will coincide with the book when it comes out. And it's just a lot easier to grab all of those clips now than have to go back a year from now and grab them. And it also helps me in case I miss something, because I always feel like, did I get this clip? Did I get that quote? Did I miss anything? Etc., etc. The Megyn Kelly one, I mean, that's one that I could have missed. Trump only talks about Kennedy for literally 13-14 seconds. That's it. You blink and you miss it, but I got it. So I was very happy about that. So keeping up with Trump's speeches his interviews are a lot easier than keeping up with RFK's interviews, because RFK is doing interviews, he's doing podcasts, he's doing everything that he possibly can. Trump doesn't do that much. He does seem to do more terrestrial radio, and so the only way that I've been able to get some good clips from the terrestrial radio is by just listening to the news, watching the news. I watch on YouTube, on the Hill YouTube channel, there's a good show called The Rising, and they're really good. So they go back and forth. Obviously, they don't agree on everything, but it is just a really good YouTube show. They break it up into segments. I know they're on other platforms, things like that too, but to have them on YouTube is really good. So I'm just trying to find some parking here, and that is it, my friends. God bless you all. Kennedy and Trump podcast will be back. Episode number 27 coming up soon, right here on this channel, Greg Fernandez Jr. This is my backup channel, but of course we know, as I talk about and will continue to talk about until one day maybe I can get my original channel back. But until then, God bless you all, and hopefully I'll be back here later this evening. And got some other surprises coming up on the Gray Stage YouTube channel. Gonna get back on there too. Continue and finish the Gray Stage podcast. And then we'll see where we go from there. God bless you all, my friends.